I'm another little nation with the vault, full moon in Libra, and a star called Vashaka. This don't really gonna be quick. I ain't gonna back. Jesus ain't used too many words in the Bible, and I strive not to use too many words in my life either. Alright, so salutations to Lord Ganesha, who has a curved trunk, who has a large body, and whose splendor is similar to a million suns. O Lord, please make my undertakings free of obstacles by extending your blessings in all my work always. So, on the top left, this is, I guess the Western type of horoscope. For the full moon in Libra, we put the moon in the ascendant. So, full moon is like an outward manifestation of the new moon themes. So, the new moon is about intentions and we could say development, right? And then the full moon is about manifestation, things coming to a culmination where the energy is at its most visible state. So the intentions that we do is like kind of dark, it's hidden, it's like not necessarily a secret, but it's just like it's not all that way clear. All the clarity and stuff ain't there. But a full moon is very sattvic influence. You dig what I'm saying? So what just naturally full moons can bring. So it's the part of the cycle where your intentions are becoming more visible. Your plans and the seeds that you planted, they begin to grow into something, and you get to see it above the surface. You feel me? So, and then other times you just let things go, release, forgiveness. Those are beneficial activities also. So new moon in Aries was the intention to initiate through bold action and bold energy. Varani gives us the power to take things away and move on, the power to be carried away by the waters, remove negativity, impurities, right? So that gives us implications towards detoxing, letting go, death, rebirth, the cycles of death and rebirth, transformation. Also, sensuality and passion. Water is sacral chakra, so sometimes can lead towards just sexual things or just sexual excess because water is just always flowing. So the new moon basically say you might have had to cut something off, let something go. You might have been aware, you might have been made aware knowing leading up to this full moon of a certain part of a certain pattern or person. It's like, it's cool, I like it. But gotta let it go. I gotta cleanse it. It's not as pure as it can be, right? So the full moon in Libra it's gonna give it is the clarity to initiate through relations, charm, pleasing energy, beauty, harmony. Libra is the field of relationships. It is charming. It is aesthetic in terms of like it has a certain style to it. And then Vashaga, the star Vashaga gives the power to achieve many fruits in life. It's represented by a triumphal archway. So therefore it just show having the determination to reach a goal, being super fixated, damn near obsessed about a goal or whatever you're reaching for, oftentimes by whatever means. The moon in Vishaka it is in its fall star, debilitation star. And as it goes into Scorpio, it's kind of like it create ambition or intentions and ideas that are born out of neediness. So it's like you become obsessive about something because, oh man, it's something I always wanted or I couldn't have it then and I gotta have it. But sometimes it can show envy too. It's like they want something that, somebody else have and want them not to have that thing. It could, very be a petty star. It's like this person will be like, what is it? Seeking connection through competition or debate. So these would be people that's like, oh yeah, we best friends, but it's always drama. It's always like, what are you trying to one up me? So be careful for that. And there's a little backstory about Libra. The constellation Virgo, when you look at it in a sky app or outside, if you could notice it, but it's John big as hell. You feel me? Virgo is our intestines, gut, dantian area in the human body. If we unravel our intestines, some Jones is about 2 to 3 times as big as any other, as big or whatever, yeah, as long as any other body part. The whole body is about 2 to 3 times as big as, right? And then Scorpio is a fixed water sign, so it's real heavy, and yeah, it's just heavy and turbulent. So you got big Virgo, deep intense Scorpio, and then this small little space that's Libra. But in ancient times, they say like those was really just the claws of the scorpion. But Libra had had manifested out of a need to create harmony. Because once you get into Scorpio, things get intense. And then you get to Sagittarius, you at the fucking galactic center. It's big ass supermassive black hole. You get the Capricorn, it symbolizes the graveyard. You get into Aquarius, it symbolizes that space beyond the graveyard where it's like you kind of in transit. You're going to different worlds. It's like ghost goblins, spirits, all those type of things manifest there. And then Pisces is the exit. So you're going to need something to balance between those deeper, intense, more mystical themes in life and those more personal, and I won't call it mundane, but developmental themes from Aries to Virgo, and then from Scorpio to Pisces. It's like it's something has to come in and balance that and be the fulcrum. You dig what I'm saying? Because Libra scales don't necessarily balance it out. It's about what's weighing on more. Do you focus more on yourself or do you focus more on how you affect others? You dig what I'm saying? That's what Libra scales represent. That's what scales do. They just weigh options. They weigh and measure. So it's like they factor in there like, all right, well, if I do this, will this in it for me, and where does this affect other things? So it's something to think about, right? So the energy of the full moon is focused on relationships and partnerships. 5 things to ask. Have I been too concerned with appearance in general? Nah, I've been chilling. 2, have I been thinking too much about others and neglecting my own needs? I felt that coming up, and then but energetically, I was like, oh, I'm going in a rush cycle. So, got out of that. 3, have I been too easily influenced, gullible, or unable to decide for myself? Have I been too easily influenced? But like, it's I can't even scroll on things. I'd be like, nobody knows what the hell they talking about no more, but everybody's always talking. And if you get caught up in that, because Libra can be very chatty and yappy. 4, have I been living my life through someone else? No. 5, have I spent enough time beautifying my life? I could spend a little bit more time. You dig what I'm saying? Because it's like you might sit up there and tidy up, but sometimes you be missing that little touch. Like put a fucking where's your incense? Matter of fact, fucking incense, because those things gonna burn smoke and ashes. Let's just get a candle. That's a nice little touch up in that bitch. You feel me? So remind yourself to see the beauty in life. Find a balance between what you need and what you need to do for others to keep them happy. Feel me? So 28 degrees of Libra is the 4 of Swords. First deacon is the 2 of Swords. Second deacon is the 3 of Swords. Third deacon is the 4 of Swords in Libra. 4 of Swords is the truce. Astrologically, it's Jupiter in Libra. Vishaka Nikshatra is a Jupiter ruled Nikshatra spanning from Libra to Scorpio. So it's kind of, there's our correspondence right there. So it's a guy, you got four swords, one laying down, and then three. Three is like my soul in the line. Yeah, body, mind, soul, or body, mind, spirit, and then they trying to get in alignment, maybe with the soul. With those three swords above the guy, as he lays down in the four swords, they just represent like getting into alignment because he got like little alias prayer hands and stuff like that. So it's like a person finding solace in silence. They find the silence in respite and peace. You dig what I'm saying? The picture of the image in the stained glass window is kind of resemblant to the Madonna, which is about divine compassion, nurturing, even like fertility. So sometimes we quiet and we inside space, we get spaceful. So that's true. Control, we make belief, trust. What is it? Trust in the between our arguing for time. Peace and respite are synonyms and show, or they just representing being free from disturbance. So four swords is like you just four swords, Vishaga. This full moon is like about finding like a way to be free from disturbance. So you can either focus towards a particular goal or whatever it might be, but you kind of get tunnel vision. Then you begin to move and drown out all the other influences that's going on so that you can kind of just go after this goal or just to contemplate certain things. So four swords represents a period of rest and respite or contemplation or just being away from disturbance, being relieved from something. So it has obvious themes like rest, sleep, and meditation. But it also points to the promise of peace. It's like, things what is that? Ecclesiastes says that things have grown weary from always having to change form. They really just seeking peace at the end. So Jupiter in Libra is the astrological association with this. Jupiter is expansion and wisdom, and it's directed to the field of relations and interactions. So it's like just having grace in relationships. I figured, what do I got on my little notes I wrote? Yeah. I can't say Jupiter does well in air signs. He might be a little too out there. So in a way, to get air is mental, and then ether is mystical, magical. But ether and air, if ether, what is Vata? Vata is air and space. Ether and air is kind of like space and the mind and the spirit. You dig what I'm saying? So things like meditation, maybe communication to a degree, but Jupiter and air signs kind of point to the communication towards higher kind of things and more. Jupiterian stuff, right? So on the 14th, 2 days after the full moon, Jupiter will be crossing into Gemini, and it started to be like very good for opportunities. Gemini is very adaptable. Jupiter is very merciful. So it's like you might get a lot of tries to do things and a lot of just opportunities and instances and circumstances where it's like, oh, you can try this and try this, right? So Mercury, Gemini is a sign of Mercury. Mercury is Jupiter's stepson. Jupiter taught Mercury all the earthly skills. Earthly skills are things like vocations, skills that can be traded, get you paid, or You just like the things that you can exchange in the market. So it's kind of saying when Jupiter is in Mercury sign, he is teaching all of us skills, kind of like earthly skills to get paid. Because the next transit, Jupiter will be going into Cancer. He exalts in that sign, and Jupiter's exaltation. Jupiter naturally lives in a treasury, so places that Jupiter do well in has to do with like the spread of money or the flow of support in some type of way. So what did I say? If Jupiter in Sagittarius is about higher learning, Jupiter going to Gemini, it's said that when a planet's away from their office or home, they get a bit weak and stuff like that. So for what it's worth, yeah. But why is that? Because now the teachers kind of, instead of teaching you like about philosophy, religion, like real higher learning, deep stuff, they just going back to the basics with everybody. But Jupiter's aspect is going to be towards Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Libra. So the things that the basic kind of skills, basic communication skills, basic math, or like measurements and working with your hands and stuff like that, like all of those skills will be coming up. And Jupiter casts the seventh aspect to Sagittarius. So the idea is that through learning and going back to the basics with certain skills and vocations and jobs and stuff like that, one can expand beyond themselves later on. And when Jupiter go in Cancer, that is the idea. So fire signs can expect much more social time, meeting a lot more people, working on their communication skills, these interpersonal skills and stuff like that. Earth signs can expect to focus on their finances and family and ways to accumulate this money. Water signs can expect some grace in their transformations and the changes that they'll be going through in life. And then earth signs can just expect motivation, maybe a heightened sense of purpose, and more emphasis on the expression of themselves, like just kind of like their personality and things that they like to do. They'll get into that. So, Sabian symbol. Here's the last thing. Man in the midst of brightening influences, having faith that we are a part of something bigger. When we surrender our need to be special, Jupiter and Gemini, surrender is going to be Moon and Scorpio. When we surrender our need to be special, then we can feel the supportive presence of a community that is always around us. Dawning awareness that we are a part of the greater life. We are none of us alone. We are part of a greater whole. We can see this in family, tribe, community, nation, species, or even at the levels of cosmic resonance to higher degrees of consciousness. The more profoundly we embrace this, the deeper becomes our faith in ourselves and life generally. Without faith, life is a fearful process, yet with it all is well. So it's just becoming like when you got faith, even a mustard seed, like it just kind of like grow and branch out. Vishaka, it'll branch out and spill more seeds and stuff like that along the road. And now you got a whole little mustard, what do you call that, cultivation area and stuff, It's like awesome. But, Vishaka is a sign about obsession, and a sign is a star of obsession and purpose, and a sign of relation, in a sign and field of relationships. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like finding your purpose amongst others. Finding those individuals that you can, achieve and make many fruits. Like many fruits, it's like the things that you do kind of is in alignment with things that your tribe, family, friends, business partners, gang, it benefit that, so that way whatever you achieve help another person achieve. And if y'all got like similar kind of goals, it's like, oh shit, we yoke the same, nigga. You did that shit, I did this, and them jumps came together. This is awesome. You can kind of achieve many fruits if you're working with other people. But like sometimes when you really focus and you got purpose to do something, you really might have to just focus on that thing and build your expertise in that thing and allow that to help the other people. So then you achieve fruits, many fruits. I'm guessing. You did what I'm saying? The moon gonna fall in the third degree of a chakra. So what that tell us about purpose? Sometimes motherfuckers get real petty and real needy and things like that. And then it's just like the Scorpio becomes a fixed sign. So it's like they cling and really get obsessed about a result or a goal, a person. You feel me? And they lose the charm. Now it's just total fucking like just cruelty and manipulation. So just, be careful. Because yeah, we part of something bigger, but sometimes you might be a part of like a situation where it's not so light. It's not that much faith. So just be careful, bro. That was pretty good. It shouldn't even be 20 minutes. 21. All right, goodbye.